everybody. Welcome to Finding Our Tribe Presents Jedi in the Classroom. It is our side pod. We have Jamie Halsey and Fabian Hofmann, one F, two N's, and I am Scott Kazarian. Why don't we just start off? Thank you. Why don't we just start off by telling or you guys can see it because we're on YouTube now, like how much better is my background than Fabian's? Probably a lot, right?
It's you're high up there. I mean, but
I was so low before.
I want you guys to know that this is an ad howling at the Death Star. I mean, how good is that really? You just have an ad on, and you know.
I think Jamie's wins though because she's so much more like cultured and like well-rounded.
It looks
like,
more rounded.
It's just oh man, she's got so much good stuff. You got some new additions, Jamie, yeah?
Yeah, well, they are old editions, but I just moved them in view.
Oh, okay.
So what we got?
Way.
Oh yeah, I didn't see that one.
Star Wars, a little reference book. I moved Baby Yoda down.
Nice. Is that like a really nice book?
This is a very nice book.
Yeah.
It's a special edition Ultimate Visual Guide. I've got a couple books. I use them for reference.
Yeah, I have a really nice book of the poster art of Disney parks. I really like that one, and nobody can like touch it. But that Star Wars.
I was allowed to touch it. I borrowed it for like a day.
Oh, you did. It was very scary for me.
I felt very honored because I know this book means a lot to you. All right,
well, let's talk about
one sit on it and eat on it, but nothing happened.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, just spaghetti, right? Not greasy stuff.
No, just spaghetti.
Yeah, garlic toast. Okay, let's talk about our survey or our question we sent out to the Twitterverse and YouTubeverse on what was the question?
The question was,
I remember, but
yeah, I know you don't have to say that.
It's funny every time.
Is it? Is it though?
No, probably not.
No. The question was, who grew the most in the original trilogy? Was it Luke Skywalker or Han Solo? And we had one person, and we have to shout out Southwest Ohio.
Ohio.
Charlie Myris, who we need to get him on the show finally. It's just so hard, like organizing all of that with like he's got like 3 kids, right? Or 4? He's got 18 kids, just like you, Scott.
He just had a child not long ago, right?
Yeah, exactly. And so he's just like, I don't know if I can do it. And then he sent me a message, can we do it now? And I'm like, no, we already recorded, kind of thing. So it was like, we're getting you on the show, Charlie. Don't you worry. We love you. We think you're awesome.
So what did he say? Well, we like you a lot. We're not sure we're at love yet, but we like you a lot.
Okay. Well,
we think you have a good personality.
So he said Luke grows more than Han because he discovers who he is in more than one way.
That's a pretty good response.
Right.
It is. Awesome. It's not super detailed.
Did you guys already weigh in? I was going to say, did you guys already weigh in? Let's pretend I don't have an opinion.
No, we have not said anything yet because.
Okay, so Jamie, why don't you give us some controversy? Go ahead.
Yes, I disagree. I think it's Han Solo.
Why?
Because he's very selfish at the beginning, right? It's all about him. It's all about, making the galactic credits. It's all about running away from Jabba the Hutt, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he keeps getting pulled into the resistance. And sure enough, he's there. He falls in love with Leia.
Mm-hmm.
She says she loves him. He says, I know. He goes into carbon freeze.
Yeah, he's essentially sacrificing himself for the team, right? Even though he gets captured and stuff, but they could have put up more of a fight. But he's like, no, I'm putting myself in there so that you guys, because that's the promise, right? I'm getting captured, and Lando is getting off and is free, right? Which obviously doesn't happen.
He could have ditched him way back, like he was going to leave.
Yeah,
but he came back and he helped out.
That's true.
Yeah, but I think, Luke kissed his sister, and I think if that messes anybody else and causes change, that's all I got. That's my only contribution to this conversation.
But he didn't know at that point. That was awkward though.
If there were ever more change to happen, that's gonna mess.
But I think I would agree with you, Jamie. I think that Han, like overall, like as a character, I think he develops the most. Even though Luke, you can see him grow up throughout the whole series or throughout those 3 movies, right? You can see how he goes from this bright-eyed farm boy to this really like respectable Jedi towards the end. And you can, but I don't think the character development is as strong as in Han, because it's literally the exact opposite of what Han used to do. And if you watch Solo, etc., you know that is like, he was always looking out for himself more than anybody else. There was always like, okay, he's doing the right thing, but it's going to benefit him eventually. And this one here, I think he's becoming more selfless throughout.
Maybe his altruism was always right underneath the surface, and we just didn't know it.
I think so. I think he's soft and squishy on the inside, but kind of a hard pull on the
He's a scruffy looking nerf herder.
Soft and squishy on the inside. That's what I said. I was just about to say that same thing.
You're soft and squishy on the outside, Scott. What?
Thank you. Okay, we'll go with that.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's jump into our topic for this episode. We are talking about we talked about theme. We talked about origin story. We're going to talk about like multi-sensory application of your theme in your classroom. Like, what does that look like? How do you integrate your theme in a multi-sensory way, since that's our hot topic word for today? So who wants to go first?
Multi-sensory sounds great. Why don't you go, Jamie? What do you do?
Well, I think for me, music is the biggest thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
The soundtrack is amazing. It's very recognizable.
Yeah.
Whenever the students, and we'll get into this, I think, at a later pod, but whenever the students do an assessment and we have a boss battle, I turn on the Imperial March.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as I turn that on, it's a cue for them to prepare for an assessment. So they start humming it, and it's hilarious.
Yeah.
When does the Cantina song come on? Just curious.
I have had the Cantina song on when they are just working.
Yeah,
kind of
it's better than
working on a project or something. I'll put on the soundtrack, and ultimately the Cantina song comes in, and they're popping around.
Do you so you introduce your boss battles with the Imperial March? Do you have like other epic music playing as they are doing the boss battle, or does it like end with the Imperial March, or do you just
I end with that, and then because they're very focused, I probably could continue on. I have like the Imperial March ready to go, and so it's just really easy to start that up, and they do it, and then I would have to switch to another channel or something to make that.
Well, let's stay on music then, Fabian. What do you do for music?
So for me,
let's just assume we all do music.
Yeah, we all do music.
Yeah.
Well, music is, I think, really important just in general, because it does set the scene quite a bit. I mean, if you ever watch, there's this really funny video of like the end of episode 4, where they all get the medals except for Chewie and Boo. But so there's somebody who took the score out, and just like everything was quiet, and he just redid the sound effects, and it's just super, super awkward because there's no music and nobody's saying anything, but it works with the music. The music is like super pumped, and it's like amazing, and you're like, oh my god, this feels so good. But it's hilarious. We'll put it in the show notes. But I think that using music with like boss battles, or just when there is work going on, I think music helps a lot, because it just sets them in the right mind, especially when they're doing a boss battle, or it's like something dramatic is happening. Like having these musical cues just elevates this thing that's I mean, let's be honest, it's just a quiz, right? But it elevates the quiz.
No, it's not.
Sorry.
It's not
But it elevates the quiz to a new level, because the music, the John Williams score, just is so magical. It just creates an atmosphere of
so what do you do
drama.
actually specifically?
So for me, what I do,
which was the original question.
Let me get there.
Yeah.
So I found on Spotify, there's a playlist, Star Wars battle music, that I use for boss battles, that I just play. I used to play like random battle music, so every once in a while I would like bust out, I don't know, like Pirates of the Caribbean, or something that's just like gets them all riled up. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm riled up.
Hans Zimmer works really well for that, to kind of like get them in the action. Another thing that I do is like, I found lo-fi Star Wars music. I don't know if you're familiar with lo-fi hip hop. It's just this chill out music.
Us. Yes. Yeah, go ahead.
It's like electronic music, but it's very like loungy. But it's Star Wars. So you
Oh.
have like somebody like Dan Kim. He's Sam.
Oh yeah,
Sam
Dan. Oh no,
Sam,
Sam. Yeah, Sam Kim. Yeah, of course.
Sam Kim.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Uh-huh.
Sam Kim. He
I
has
call
made,
him Samuel, but yeah.
yeah, sometimes he goes by Samuel.
Yeah.
And anyway, so he created a ton of songs that are like that. They're just low key, but you recognize the themes, and it's just really good working music. So I would put
Okay, are you
that
going to
on.
share that in the show notes with us?
Yes,
Because I've
of
never heard
course.
you say that
Yeah.
before.
Yeah,
One of the things
so-
I really liked from what you did, and maybe you could talk about this, was ambient mixer.
Mhm.
You had like jet engine, like it felt
Yeah.
like you were in, I don't remember, what was it? Where were you supposed to be?
So I used different ones. So it's this website called Ambient Sound Mixer, and they have all kinds. They have one for Harry Potter. They have Lord of the Rings. They have like all kinds of stuff, but they also have Star Wars. And fans create these soundscapes. Like mine was on the Death Star, and then in a Jedi temple. And all it is really, it's just like ambient sounds. It's not, there's no music or anything. Every once in a while when you're on a Death Star, you hear like enemy approaching, and then launch all fighters, and then they launch the fighters.
Like,
And
the white zone is for loading and unloading only.
Exactly.
Right.
So it's just something to play and have on while they're working, and it's a lot of fun. It's like, it's just because it's not, I mean, I work really well when it's quiet, but I also work really well when I have like some kind of ambient noise going on. And
Jamie, do you have any sort of ambient mixer stuff going on in your class?
Actually, EMC2 Learning came out with a soundboard
That's
that's
true,
a
yeah.
space theme, and it sounds like they're going to be doing more than just space, but it's pretty cool. It just kind of has like a ship space sound, ambient music. They have alarms, also blasts, things like that.
Mhm.
So you can take it up a notch with those sounds as well. But
Yeah.
I was not aware of the ambient sound mixer with Star Wars sounds. So
Yeah, it's really
I
great.
got like 3 nuggets right now just from our discussion.
Yeah,
So.
our show notes are going to be crazy. So I use ambient mixer. So when the students walked in, I had the golden brick lit up with lights, and then
This is so cool.
I used Pirates of the Caribbean. So I just blasted it, and I've got Fabian's surround sound he gave me that ended up in my classroom because that's just where it ended up.
That's
so I
great.
blasted
It's
it.
not meant for a living room or anything. No, it's meant for your classroom.
So it's blasting at full volume, and even one of my special education
awesome.
students was like, typed in the chat, "Could you please turn that off?" And I was like, "No, but I'll
You're
turn
like,
it down
"No,
a little bit."
I'll turn it up.
Yeah,
That's what
but
you
super
wanted.
pumped.
Right?
But you know what? Even over Christmas, that my favorite thing is to decorate outside. I had a competition last year with my teacher friend for outdoor decorating, and I put the ambient mixer Christmas. So every like 15 seconds, you'd hear ho 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 in the background of Santa going by, and you play that. So the ambient mixer really kind of immerses you.
Yeah,
And so and then, I haven't really thought about, because I use History Hunters. I guess maybe Indiana Jones background music might be really smart for that.
There could be, I'm sure there's something like temples or stuff like that,
right?
where it's just
right
like
now
you hear,
I'm
like,
using
crackling.
classical Disney
Mhm.
on YouTube Music. I have a playlist of classical Disney, and it's just all very like, there are no words, just the subtle sound.
Oh yes, you had this idea where you have the students guess the Disney song, right?
Yeah, they're kind of multitasking through their assignment and guessing which song it is while they're doing their assignment, because it's all online, and I just wanted to keep them engaged.
Yeah, that was really fun. I tried that too, but I think that they caught on that they could just use Siri and ask Siri like, what song is this, and then but man. It's all for the
stupid technology.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Well, okay, so that was music. So what other multi-sensory things are we using in our classrooms? Any other thoughts?
So
I'm sure we got a couple more.
I use scents in my classroom. So there's this company called Magic Candle company, and they have candles that smell like theme park rides. And also like if I don't know if everybody knows this, but when you go to Disneyland and you walk downtown Disney, not downtown Disney, but Main Street USA, the smells that you smell are not real smells. They're created to get people interested in like the ice cream shop or the churros or the popcorn or whatever. So when you go towards these places, it smells like popcorn and you're like, this smells really good. And then people buy it, but they also use it on their rides.
Man,
So
we're behind the curtain today. Holy
yeah,
cow.
I know. So there's this company and they recreated those smells so that when you go on like Pirates of the Caribbean and you smell like that it's not chlorine, it's like, I don't know exactly what they use in their water.
A sea smell. It's really
it's this
lovely
it's this
smell
very exactly, it's this very very obvious
Wait, that
smell
chlorine
that's there.
smell is not real?
Well, it's not chlorine, it's something else, but they recreated
smells
that smell.
like it, yeah.
They recreated that smell, so you can have that. But if you go on ride, there's like the ET ride in Universal Studios in Florida, they have like a certain smell they pump in and you can buy that one. So there's like all kinds.
It's like the redwoods or something. What is that smell? Probably the redwoods.
And smells like on It's a Small World, they'll do like peppermint.
Exactly.
Or, gingerbread, like that.
So you can, so I bought a couple, I bought like 4 different ones for each of my units. So each unit for me is a planet. And so students would land on the planet and then I would use that smell in like what is it? Like a diffuser? And I would have that on like every time they walked in the classroom, they would smell that. And it's just a small little thing. But once the smell changes, they should know, oh, we're in a different planet now because I changed my smell. And you can kind of work like, obviously there is no Dagobah smell, but you can like use the redwood smell or whatever, to kind of like make that happen. Or if they are on in one unit, they were on what's the planet where they steal the Death Star plans?
That one.
Yeah. It's this very tropical place, right? So I bought like a tropical kind of a smell so that it smells like, oh, we're on this planet right now. And I think it adds something to it.
Hot, you could do kind of a crisp winter snowy
smell. And there's one for I'm on Mustafar now, so I'm thinking of getting another smell. There's this one called Rome Burning. There's like a ride, I think, in Disney World that it's like a historical ride, I think. And so it kind of smells like a little burny. So I'm going to try to get that smell as well. So it kind of feels like that.
If you've never used a diffuser in your classroom, you should totally try. Since you're, Fabian, the only example I've ever had, for better or for worse, I have a diffuser now too. I actually got a Donors Choose calming corner for myself, like not for my, well, probably for myself
for you,
too, but a carpet, some beanbag chairs. We're going to use it next year when COVID is hopefully in the rearview mirror. But I tried to use it and I realized that unless you place it by the door when students walk in, which is where you placed it, it's really hard for them to pick up the smell because all the windows are open and things are blowing around. So I actually had to move it.
But I don't want it to be too distinct. I want it to be like subliminal a little bit. Right. Because some of them, they go crazy. Like I had it on my computer card. And so when they put the computers over, some of them were just like standing there and like,
or they cup over it and then they play with the fumes.
Yeah. And they would play with the fumes. And I'm like, no, that's not how you're supposed to do it. So I'm going to place it somewhere else now. So it's not as obvious, but it's just there. Right. But yeah, you can use a diffuser in general, like to calm students down or whatever. There's some really good smells. And yeah.
That's awesome.
That's my sense.
Cool. Okay, so we have sense. No, nobody gets that joke. All right, sense, soundtrack. How about like aesthetics around the room? What with Jamie? Fabian's talked enough. Why don't we go?
Yeah.
I actually have some lights that are kind of unique. So I have some LED lights. Just like fairy lights or whatever, but I have some that are star shaped and they change colors throughout the day. And I tend to have my lights off most of the day because I have a skylight in my classroom. So it has lots of natural light.
Well, that's awesome.
And so I have lights around a window. I've got another set of lights around my whiteboard. I have like a lamp in my room. So having that kind of calming light is really cool. Yeah. And then I also have a holocron that a student got me when they went to Disneyland. And I can turn it on and it's a Sith one. So it like the Emperor will come on and talk to the kids, and it lights up and
That's
changes
awesome.
color, and it's like, come to the dark side. And so something sinister is going on. I'll bring that out and turn that on.
Yeah.
And then I also have a little light up Death Star, and I can change the color. So like if it's if we're gonna go into a boss battle, I can change it to like red, like all hands on deck, or it can set different colors. So I don't know. I just think adding light is kind of fun.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah, that's more than just a poster on the wall. It's changing the dynamics. That's awesome.
Right. Now I feel really cheap. But
I'm sorry.
Speaking of the holocron, so I don't know if you heard about this, but they did come out with special kyber crystals that you can buy that turns the holocron into a magic 8-ball. So I was thinking of getting one, getting a holocron maybe next year when I start my new year, and getting like the Darth Vader one. And then if students want to go to the bathroom, I have them pick up the holocron and they can ask it. Because Jamie, you told us this, that Michael Matera was using a magic 8-ball for kids when they want to go to the bathroom. And then he's like, I'm not going to decide. Have the magic 8-ball. And I thought that was hilarious. So I think that's a cool idea to use a holocron with that and have like Darth Vader tell you whether you can go or not.
That would be awesome.
And I believe there are Jedi holocrons too.
Yes, exactly.
There's Jedi ones and Sith ones, so depending on what your mood is.
Well, I'm definitely going to Google it so I know what you guys are talking about. That's my plan. All right, so lighting sounds huge. Okay, so Fabian, I know you got some cool, what we call them, flags, banners for your classroom. Which one? I think you had a picture of them even that you showed me. Maybe you could.
Yeah, I do have the Resistance flag that says Black Spire Outpost, because I got it from, like, I ordered it on eBay, but for reasons. But it says Black Spire Outpost and Resistance, and then the other one is the First Order, Legion 709 or whatever. And I just have those in the classroom as like place markers in a way too. I put posters up in the classroom and those, and then when we do like something like Four Corners or whatever, I could say, okay, so for those of you who agree with this, go to the dark side. If you disagree, go to the light side, whatever, stuff like that, to kind of like give them positions in the classroom. So I don't have to say go to that corner, but I can just say go to the Hoth poster, or go to, right? And it's just keeps it Star Warsy, and it makes it light, and it's like just a little bit different.
Well, and you just made that video. If people go to your Twitter, at Hofmann EDU 1F2Ns, they can see the welcome video. And I liked at the end your actual classroom because it's very simple. Like there's not a lot of things going on in there, and so those banners really pop. Was that on purpose, or you just don't have enough stuff to put on the walls?
No, I just don't have a lot.
Actually, there's some studies behind that actually toning things down and making it a little bit more sparse is actually a little bit more of a calming environment.
Then it was on purpose.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Well, don't look at my room then.
I am getting, I did ask to print a giant Millennium Falcon on the poster printer. So that's going up too. It's
interesting. Did they say yes?
Yeah, they don't care.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, yeah. Those big giant stickers you could put on the wall.
Yeah. No, it's just, but you could get those. Yeah. There's like a ton of those that you can buy.
I was thinking it would be really cool to get like a Death Star or Millennium Falcon and put it somewhere like kind of high where you couldn't really put decor there, and just they're putting it on this.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
I got my wall graphics donated like everything else I do in my room, but it's Super Mario because I didn't have a theme and I just wanted students to come in and feel like excited to be there. Now that I have a theme in a game, I almost think like, ooh, I don't know if Mario really is going to fit that.
Yeah.
And it is very overwhelming now that I've added like Indiana Jones everywhere and History Hunters. And you guys have seen on Twitter and stuff that I have these huge banners now.
Yeah.
So it's very the aesthetics is very overwhelming now that I have too many things going on. Yeah, mishmash. Yeah. I brought all my Funko Pops. You can't see them because I'm using a background today, but I had a bunch of Funko Pops out there. I'm like, oh yeah, it just kind of looks like everything's too much, and I do not want to overwhelm them. That's a good point, Jamie.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Maybe
okay, so
out as you have new units, like you pull them through, might be a good way to do it.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Do you guys do that at all?
No.
No, but
okay, but I should. So
yeah, you should. So you can still use it. You can take stuff down and then you can reuse
Here's
it.
a great idea I never used. You should use it. Thanks, Jamie. All right. Any other multi-sensory as we kind of get to the end of this episode?
No, that's like for senses. That's it. I need to somehow incorporate taste. So maybe once.
I don't know how you would do that.
I don't
They
know.
could lick their desk.
Oh gosh, no.
Well, there.
Scratch
no.
and sniff.
Yeah.
Scratch.
Oh,
For
scratch
Willy
and sniff would
Wonka.
be cool.
Yeah. Oh, that'd
Oh
be
my gosh.
interesting.
Yeah.
That's like a COVID nightmare right there. Let's not do
Yeah.
Hashtag COVID nightmare. Yeah.
All right, everybody. Well, that's episode 3 of Finding Our Tribe Presents Jedi in the Classroom. We'll see
Yeah.
you next time.
May the
See you
force be with you.
May the
May the
force
be with you.
Bye bye.